states, let me put the state word, you want all the states back which were there when Soviet Union was intact, right? I'm talking after the Cold War era, right? So you want to get them back.
Logical. That's why I think we should direct that question to our logical. That's why I think we should direct that question to our Western colleagues and to ask them, what do you want? Do you think that Russia will stop being Russia? Do you think that you can continue to invade and to intrude your values, Western values and liberalism, Far East or to China or to Northern Korea or to Pakistan or to India or Africa? I don't think so. Because if you want to be a successful invader, you need to have agenda. You need to have a key attractive strategy that will make other nations follow you. And United States doesn't have it today. Besides the idea and desire to keep its leadership. But it's a shallow thing. Being equipped with such kind of approach, neither United States or European Union can continue invade smaller nations, weaker nations like Ukraine, with such kind of approach.
You know, I understand that you want to get all those states, let me put the state word, you want all the states back which were there when Soviet Union was intact, right? I'm talking after the Cold War era, right? So you want to get them back, let me put it this way. Am I right? You want all those states, all those areas which were like not there with you. I'm putting it in a very different, in a mellow way, that the areas after the disintegration of Soviet Union which were not with you or are not with you, you want them back?
We never said we want anyone back.
Okay.
We recognize that it was a historically approved divorce. That was a historical logics, and we cannot change facts. We can't enter history twice. The Russian position and the Russian foreign policy is very pragmatic. In order to become attractive, you must offer something attractive, but not in a, let's say, offensive or oppressive way. We never say, we never proclaimed, you cannot find any statement either from our president or our foreign minister or someone else from the Russian side who would say, we want you back. And if you will monitor, for example, the situation in the Central Asia, in Caucasus, you will never find any Russian trace. You will never find a kind of extensive network of institutions from the Russian side who are trying to invade or somehow in a kind of aggressive way to attract their attention. No, the Russian position is completely different. Some experts consider that Russia would like to get back to the Soviet Union. It's impossible.
Gotcha.
It's absolutely impossible, so no one believes in that. I think that Russia is driven, or like Mr. Gorchakov, it's a former Minister of Foreign Affairs, a very famous figure in the late 19th century, he used to say, Russia is pregnant with the new ideas. So we're not proclaiming Russia first. It's not our menu, let's say. Russia would like to attract those followers in those visionary countries who would be willing to share with Russia undeniable space of Eurasia, share the same kind of security architecture that Russia would like to promote and to become a strong advocate of. So we are willing to be opened to new partners, to new alliances. So, and we are not inviting or we're not forcing anyone just to join us. So I think it's an important difference in comparison with our Western partners. This is what is all about Russian-Chinese dialogue. And I think it's very important to understand, because recently one journalist asked Mr. President Vladimir Putin, are you going to build a new world order together with China? And he replied, you're not correct, you're wrong. Russia and China are not building new world order. We're giving the outlines, because the world order cannot be built. It can be designed in a natural way. We're just creating conditions for the fair system that this kind of new alternative, not opposition, we're not opposed to the West, but alternative will be smoothly promoted and become attractive to our partners. This is our position.
I have to take a commercial break over here. Let me take a commercial break over here. We'll be back after this break. Dr. Zigon is with us. So you're looking for new alliances in the area, right?
Yes.
In the region, right? In this region. So if we come back to how will you take this thing, you know, if America is looking for the bases or a base back in Afghanistan, how will you take it? How will Russia take it?
I think we will be watching. We will be very attentive to that process, and Russia will prefer not to interfere at this stage of the moment. We will be attentively observing how the things will be developed, but I would highly recommend to the American side, and I hope to our potential new ally, because Russia never closed the door. Russia has been always exposed patience, and if you hear to these stances and statements of Mr. Putin, he is always open-minded. He said, I hope that we will get in touch with Donald Trump's administration. So we are giving initiative to the American side in order to let them demonstrate what kind of agenda do they have and what do they have in hands to offer to their Afghan partners, Pakistani partners, etc. And after that, we will monitor, evaluate, assess the situation, and we will see what will be, from the pragmatic point of view, valuable to consider and what will be not valuable to consider.
So the Indians have stopped buying oil from Russia, right? So, and there's like a China-US reaching a trade understanding, and so the China and US are coming up with like new plans, trade plans, you know, and there is somehow there is an understanding between the two. So India is out, not buying no more oil from you guys. So first of all, this oil diplomacy, I would say, the oil diplomacy thing is over, right, between India and Russia. And this new thing coming up, this US-China comfort level increasing every day by, though it's a rocky situation, it goes like up and down all the time, it happens. And the tariffs are going low. The Russian economy will have an impact on this or no?
The expectations of the Russia's death are really overexceeding. I mean, the death of Russian economy. The Ukrainian crisis has boosted the military economy quite a lot, and we all know that, and American side know as well, that every military conflict, every war actually helps to support the economic situation. That's number one parameter. Secondly, President Putin, in comparison with the European Union leaders and with American leaders who have been experiencing quite difficult political situation inside of the United States. So he has been investing a lot of efforts into consolidating the Russian society. One Nobel Prize winner, economist, just mentioned in one of his theory that the trust between government and people is the most stable currency. He has even approved, Mr. Douglas, I think his surname, the Nobel Prize winner, that trust influences the GDP level of the economy of the state. So Russian society, despite the expectations of the Western think tanks that on a daily basis transmitting all around the world in the media that when the Russian economy is going to collapse. And they forget that it's not Soviet Union. It's not the era of the late 80s and beginning of 90s. It's completely another Russia. And I would advise them to visit Russia now, and to see the things with their own eyes. Two new generations of young people who have been traveling around, have been studying abroad, who didn't lose critical analysis, and they can compare what is going on in the West, in the European states, and what we have achieved in Russia. So our economic stability somehow is very strongly backed up by that solidarity and consolidated society. So I can actually disappoint my colleagues in the West, saying that they will be waiting for quite a long time for the failure of Russian economy. We are very resilient, we're very strong.